Hi, I just want to say the life of being an influencer is really weird because, like, you think about it from an outsider point of view. This idea of setting up a camera to talk about your feelings to people who probably don't want to hear it is interesting. I'm still gonna do it. It does offer me a release, but, like, damn, I just feel like I'm one of those people that cry out every once in a while. Well, you guys are on my YouTube channel, so I cry out pretty dang often on my YouTube channel, but in general, I cry out every once in a while. And mind you, I want you guys to know, if you've been here for every time that I've cried out, I am progressively getting better. I feel it, I know it, but I still have my moments, and I'm not even having like a really horrible moment, but I haven't talked about this on my channel yet, and we're gonna talk about it today.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Recently I found out that my birth father died. I do believe, well, at least the man I believe to be my birth father died. And we didn't really have quite the connection. I looked over my messages from when I like pretty much found him and interacted with him. And there's not much to write about, you know. I'm like, oh, how are you doing, Daddy? And he responds, but there's not a lot there. I know that he's told me that he was proud of me, and he's let me know before that he felt like out of all his kids that he had raised and he had been a part of their life, that I was the one that turned out great. Like, I was the one who turned out fine. And I remember hearing him say that, and I immediately was like, oh no, I have issues, you know. I have so many issues. And I think from that point on, we really didn't really communicate. At one point, he had this idea that, you know, because I was adopted out, you know, my life was great. And I guess for me, I was like, oh no, you don't have to feel that way. Like, I'm traumatized. That was another ball in his court that maybe he wasn't quite ready to hear. I'm very open about my issues, and I'm not going to talk about them here. However, for those who do not know, I was adopted when I was 3 or 4 years old, and I've went no contact pretty much with my adoptive family back when COVID was happening. So about 2019 and 2019, 2020 or so, right around the time me and Stu got married and stuff like that, I kind of got to the point where I cut my mom out of my life. And literally before that, I want to say possibly a year before that, my birth mom died. So my birth mom died. I cut my adoptive family out of my life, and I was really dealing with that emotions. Like, it was kind of like wanting things to be better and knowing things wouldn't get better. And I also dealt with losing a friend around that time that I cut my mom off. And I lost, I want to say I did lose quite a lot. In these years, I've lost a child that I wanted. I mean, I know it was a miscarriage and it was an early miscarriage, but I felt like I lost a lot. My camera is dying. Maybe this is just a conversation for another day, but I think all of that pain put me to the position where I am right now, where I feel alone. Not even alone, but I feel this emptiness. And I wanted to share that with you guys. I guess I won't be able to read this to you, but I'll show you what I just posted on my social media. Can you guys legitimately give me words of encouragement down below? Because I think every once in a while, I need them. And we are back. And I am in such a much better state. Yesterday, I just felt the weight of the world. I felt so many emotions all at once. And we already know that I am quite an emotional gal, but I felt so much all at once. And I needed comfort. And I think part of the reason why it snowballed to what it was is because I hadn't been able to communicate with Stu. Even though we are so far away, he is still a big line of comfort for me. And because I wasn't able to communicate with him or have a conversation with him to the point where I felt like I'm being heard, I felt very lost, okay? So I did say that I was going to put the picture on the screen last video, but since my camera is now charged, I feel like I can read it and I can also explain myself a little bit better. There's a couple things that led to this moment. Recently, I told you guys this before, but I found out that my father died. And like 2 months ago, my brother died. And those two situations gave me very different feelings. I also got an email from a childhood friend that confirmed some things that I had already kind of known, but she confirmed it. And that led me to like reobsessing why I am not in contact with my mother. And don't worry, it didn't make me reassess it in a way where I was like, oh no, I regret it. It reassessed it in a way where I was just like, yeah, I did the right thing. But it wasn't like it was new information, right? It was just everything being brought up all at once. And had I had the comfort that I needed before that moment, it wouldn't have gotten so bad. Also, had I had not have done an all-night bender where I was drinking a lot of beer, it wouldn't have gotten that bad, okay? I am resilient, but I'm also a social drinker. Now, the problem with alcohol, we should all know the problem with alcohol is it is a depressant. So, it's like, I can be sad all on my own. I don't need alcohol to make me sad, right? So all of those things were kind of mixing in, and it led to me like pretty much in my group chat being like, anyone want a platonic cuddle? I'm a cuddler, okay? Like, do I regret it? Well, I knew like there's a lot of times I'll send a message in a group chat and no one will respond, which kind of reaffirms that feeling of being alone. But nah, I needed a platonic cuddle. I needed some type of support, right? And I'm not ashamed for saying that I needed some type of support. You know, I feel like some people get it in their mind that they have to do this world alone. And I am a strong advocate for getting help. I'm a strong advocate for relying on other people outside of yourself. If humanity was meant to be alone, we wouldn't have to, I don't know, have sex to procreate or recreate or, I don't know, become more. So that is the reality. Children, babies would walk out fully grown, and we wouldn't need to be raised, you know. If I was meant to know everything all at once, I wouldn't have had to be taught all of those years. And I'm still learning, and I'm still taking lessons from the universe. But this is my vow. I need to stop going out drinking, you know, all-nighters. If I'm going out, instead of drinking alcohol, I need to drink water. Or I need to drink something similar to water. But I can't do the alcohol anymore. Being out all night, that's fine. You know, like, I have a lot of energy, ADHD, like, being out all night is fine. I'm not overtiring myself. But the alcohol, putting something in my body that adjusts my base levels, that's not something I should be doing, right? Yesterday, I managed to make myself feel better. I ate 2 salads, okay? Like, your girl is wilding. I ate 2 salads. I did this whole thing where I just kind of blew up online without really blowing up. And after that, I ate a salad. I cleaned up my house a little bit. Like, definitely your environment predates your mental health, okay? My health was going down. My house was a mess. It was really just gathering up my trash, putting it in a bag, and then putting those bags by the door. So when I leave, the next time I will take that trash out. There was like all of these little things that I did, and like now I feel so much better, right? So let me read to you and explain to you what I posted the other day, well, what I posted yesterday. And mind you, I was feeling it deeply. I actually went inside of my freaking bathroom. I took a shower, and then I just sobbed in the shower. This is the first time I've ever done that, but I just sobbed in the shower. And then I had this moment, like, I don't know, I had this moment where I was just like, this is so fucking weird. Like, what's going on? I'm not on my period. I'm nowhere near my period. It just actually ended. What is going on? And then I had this realization, like, everything has been happening all at once. Jumped from 60,000 followers to 71 followers. And it's so funny because a week or two before this, someone told me, hey, because I had the conversation of, don't you just want everything to like kind of like a big changing moment? Like, where's my big changing moment where everything's never the same? Oh, slick. I think that was yesterday. But where's my big changing moment? And she was like, that's in movies. It's not really like that. It's a slow type of gradual thing. And I'm just like, that sucks. And then she said something random, and she was like, even good things are traumatic. I had a good thing happen while all these bad things were happening, I would say, and I just needed comfort. Yeah. So definitely, I guess I am a little bit more than the introvert that I thought I was. So let's have this conversation. As someone who believes in something bigger than me and signs, I have made peace with being misunderstood, judged for turning to tarot. I do not often share this part of myself, not from shame, but there was never quite a good time to say it. Personally, I use tarot cards as a tool for self-exploration, but at its core, tarot gave me a second lease on life. I am where I am today because of it. I was in high school when I had my first reading. It was personal and direct. It told me that there would be a day where I'd experience joy again. And I talked a little bit about that during my video, The People I Love Spiritual Edition. So I think you guys should definitely check that out. Or either side it goes on. But I think you guys should definitely check that out if you want to understand it a little bit deeper. I think that did spur me to have this conversation more publicly. Because I want to be understood. But then I also feel like the want to be understood is inherently a word in my head popped up, fascist. I don't even really know what fascist means, but I know that the want to be understood is inherently not good for me. Can someone give me a word? Give me a word in the comments. It's inherently not good for me. It doesn't help me at all. Being misunderstood actually works out best for me. It gives me a place that I can be to kind of rest my head, because, you know, why would I want to be understood by the people that surround me? Like, these people are scary. And continuing on, it told me that there would be a day where I'd experience joy again. I needed that. At my core, I am a firm believer in the infinite unknown. I do not have to know the exact components of how a phone works to use it. Sometimes vagueness is all we get. Sometimes vagueness is all we need. We each individually make our realities, and in my reality, I have decided. Everything was not for nothing. Every single thing has meaning, and everything is a learning opportunity. It's really funny because I was talking to someone yesterday, and it's really interesting when your like mindsets align, because I do have this mindset where everything is a learning opportunity and that you can learn from like feelings and stuff like that. And he was also one of those people. He's just like, oh, if this makes you feel bad, you can learn from that. But to be told that is just like part of my ego. First of all, my ego kind of took a hit in the way of, oh, like, you don't think I think like this, you know? But the reality is I don't act the way I think, if that makes sense. I often don't act the way I think because the way I think is so further than how I act. I can say that for myself. Continuing on, I am hopeful for my future and also thankful that someone took the time to translate these cards for me last night. I know that they weren't into tarot, but to take the time to translate meant the world to me. Reading tarot is definitely something I will always enjoy. I used to make videos doing it back in the day, and most likely will again in the future. This is a little part of me not often shared. I miss doing my tarot readings. Like, one of my coworkers asked me, oh, Alia, can you do a general reading for me and stuff like that? And it's like, yeah, I can. You know? Yeah, I can. Not right now, because I need to find myself more stability. But yeah, it was nice. Like, when I was in Korea, I had a coworker that I'd always do readings for. So it's like, this is nice. I recently had a death that hit me really close to home this week. My father. 2 months before, it was my brother. That has been complex. Do I have the rights to mourn? Forget that for a moment. There's always something more pressing. The distractions feel like work, and what's been getting to me at night is the feeling of being alone in this world and having an untold story. I am an orphan now. I can't fail because I have no one to fall to. The pain isn't special. I know. It just hurts. Oh, I know. Like, I know realistically, I know that my life, what I'm going through is not special. There's so many people going through it. But in these moments, I can't connect to that. I just felt weak, and I just needed comfort. And I did get that comfort the day before while I was drinking, but I was also drinking. And then I guess I went through the depressant phase of drinking the day after. And so those words that I got, I was aware of. And mentally, I think of these words of comfort. Mentally, my mind is already there, but I could not hear them. And I just wanted someone else. I just needed someone else. And I couldn't get in contact with anyone like fast enough. So I made that post. And I just felt bad for a little while. And I took the shower and I just felt bad. And I watched videos and I just felt bad. And I started to feel better towards the end of the night. Because one, my coworker, I have a coworker that I love. We're going to call her R. after I posted that long, I don't know, blabber of where I was, R sent me a message. And her message was, hey, how are you? Are you okay? And, you know, there's this idea where you shouldn't post things publicly when you're struggling. You just want attention. You know what? I did fucking want attention. Not like, I'm doing this so I can manipulate people, but I did want attention. It was a cry out for help. And like for her to answer that cry helped me a lot. So she reached out to me, and I talked to another coworker, and I love him, and we're gonna call him S. I really love S. Like, he reached out to me. He had that emotional death. It wasn't like, let's go get drinks. It wasn't like, let me come over and spend time with you. But it was a comfort deeper than any comfort that I've gotten recently. And then on top of that, like, I was able to talk to Stu on the phone for a long period of time. And I mean, like, a long period of time. We only talked for like the first 10, 15 minutes. And after that, we just kind of like just stayed on the phone with each other. But all of those things got me to the point where I'm like, right now, I feel so much better. And like, I feel like I went through like what was yesterday so quickly. On the plus side, I have a bunch of beers here, and the problem with that is I don't even have a beer opener because these beers don't twist off, so I wasn't able to drink. I ate 2 salads, and I cleaned up my house a little bit, and towards the end of the night, after I got all of that comfort from outside source, I was on YouTube and I stumbled across a video for people who are dealing with complex PTSD. Now, I was diagnosed with PTSD when I was in China, and realistically, compared to my childhood, if that one situation in China, no, not even in China, I meant to say Korea. I was diagnosed with PTSD when I was in Korea. Kind of gassy. I was diagnosed with childhood PTSD when I was in Korea. No, I was diagnosed with PTSD when I was in Korea. And compared to that being only one situation, I for sure know that I was diagnosed with, I wasn't diagnosed, but I had childhood PTSD or complex PTSD from my childhood. These are just realities. Like when I talk about having ADHD or anything, people are always like, oh, don't let the man label you. Like, you know what? It's just a label. It doesn't, it doesn't hurt me. I wasn't born or raised where this label can like really affect you and like the negative ways that some people take it. When I talk about it, it's more so like, this is just me, right? I don't feel like I'm held back from having ADHD. I don't feel like I'm on a pedestal for having ADHD. It's just me. Like ADHD is like a title, just like me being black. And we know that that can affect certain things. So yeah, me being a woman, that can affect certain things. I'm fine with these labels. And if we just don't want to put ADHD as a label on me, we can just say divergent. I'm divergent. Realistically, I never quite fit in. A lot of my relationships are not very good. I have an insecure relationship style where I really grasp to people. A lot of things end explosively with me because at least in the past, I didn't communicate along the way. And now, to tell you guys the truth, like I'm an extroverted person, so I can always be around, well, not always, but I can be around people, I can communicate, I'm very open, but surprisingly, at least for me, I'm very closed off about certain things as well. And like, it's just like, I don't believe I have a lot of friends. Like, I know that people see me in a friendly light, and I know, but I just, in my head, I don't have friends. So it's a weird place to be, knowing that like there's legitimate people in this world that love me, and me not really being able to process that love. I really don't know what love is. But yeah, that's where I was. I was overwhelmed, and I was turning to so many people. I sent a message in the group chat. Again, like, I'm stuck on that. Does anyone want to platonically cuddle? That should be a name of this video. Does anyone want to platonically cuddle? Boom, the name of this video. But I am so much better, and I guess I should also like kind of give this video a trigger warning. But my life is a trigger warning, so if you are here, you know, there's some wacky things, but there's also some pain here. I would say there's a lot of pain. It is definitely not always a black girl smile magical moment, but we're gonna get there. So anyway, much love and positive vibes, and I'm so thankful and blessed in everything, the emotions, I'm feeling them of love. I'm feeling them of contentment. Contentment is a bad thing. Never mind, I'm feeling emotions. There was a song, emotions. No, now I got another song. Taking me higher. Your love keeps taking me higher. I said your love, taking me higher, higher and higher. And that's the reality. Y'all love takes me higher. Bye-bye.